going on, everybody? I am back, and I'm here to chat about this week's new comics again. Let's talk about some of the new fun stuff coming out, some new books, some video game related content that is tied to the comics, so a little bit of crossover there. It's kind of fun. Let's get into it. So this week we have a new book. It is an independent comic by Dark Horse specifically, and it's called The Ward. So if you want to think like Grey's Anatomy mixed with like D&D and pop culture, this is a hospital that is run by elves and dwarves, and they are trying to fix up wounded fantasy style characters. It's a really cool idea. I flipped through it already. The art's pretty interesting, and I think the story is a neat take that we get to see these guys who are healing all these poor fantasy characters that get banged up. So that one is pretty fun, and that is an independent book by Dark Horse. So past that, let's move on, and I have a unique title that they have done before, and this one is it is called Fortnite Zero, and this is by Marvel specifically. So this has happened before where it was a DC related book, but this is a crossover that Marvel has officially now done with Fortnite, where when you read your comic, you're going to get a code inside. You can enter it into the game and get unique character skins, item skins, and stuff like that. Fun little bonuses on behalf of Marvel that are exclusive to you getting this comic. So this isn't something you can pay for in the game itself. You have to buy the book in order to get that content. So that is the new Fortnite title via Marvel. DC has done it, and I think I have a few copies of it still here if you're interested and you want to grab some Batman skins and gliders, and some Harley Quinn related like smash hammers and stuff. It's pretty cool. So past there, let's go. We have the new Thor, and this is specifically Jane Foster Thor and the Mighty Thor. This is going to be loosely, the movie is based, I guess, on this title specifically. These two have worked together before. They have both been characters, but if you're interested in the new Marvel Thor movie, this will be a really cool one to check out. It's going to give you a small, sub-story that's set in its own timeline, just to read specifically if you're interested more in those two characters working together. I believe this is a 6-issue miniseries, so it's not a continuous thing, but if you just want to read a really cool self-contained story on both Thors and learn a little bit more about each of them, this will be a really cool one to check out. So, moving on, we next have, I'm not sure how to say his name, is this Kristan? He's the guy from Mandalorian Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, the giant Wookiee that is, making some stomping grounds. People are talking about him. He's been in a few books before, actually, but this is going to be basically an origin book to get you going on who this guy is. And if it means anything, if Disney Marvel has spent the time to create him his own book to read, I'm guessing he's going to turn into something. Again, he's a Wookiee. People love Wookiees. He looks super cool. He's a bounty hunter. He got his really cool scar from Obi-Wan, so maybe we'll get to see in the show how that happens. Maybe there'll be a Kristan appearance in the show. Again, who knows? But if you're interested in reading that, all things Star Wars, definitely check that title out. And lastly, it is Pride Month, and DC has a really cool book that's illustrating tons of different Pride characters in their roster and lineup. That is just a new title on the shelf to read. It looks pretty cool. There's some awesome new covers that all of the main series have been coming out with. So if you're into Superman, Nightwing, whatever, you're going to have some really kind of cool Pride covers that you can collect and go forward with from there. This usually doesn't happen very often, so it's kind of cool that during Pride Month, DC has decided to do it. And I believe Marvel has some stuff coming out as well, but it wasn't this month, or this week I should say, but that is the new DC Pride book, so if you're interested, come and check it out. We've got it here on the shelf, and that is pretty much all of the new stuff I found really interesting. I think my number one pick for this week is probably the Fortnite book. I think it's really cool that you can, read the Marvel characters fighting the Fortnite lore characters. Some of these guys they've established that went from just being a video game character to actually having their own story. So pretty fun. You're going to get exclusive gear. It's probably my pick for the week. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and we're going to now chat with one of the employees again about what we think about these books. We're going to talk a little bit about what we think about some of these new titles this week. My name is Travis. I am one of the store owners. You've probably seen me in a few of these videos, and you are?
I'm Brian. I work here. I do a lot of stuff with the books.
Yeah, we're kind of, I guess, the comic dudes. We do this every week. It's like a 7-hour thing. we stand in the back of the store and get to look at all the things firsthand. So out of my pick this week, I'm going to start down here on this end. So this is the Ward. I didn't know a whole lot about it when I ordered it, but what is your thought on seeing the fantasy style of the hospital that is fixing these guys up?
I think that's a really fun idea.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it can work really well, I think, if they, do the right stuff with it. It sounds like a cool idea.
Well, it's funny because like when I flipped to that one panel when we were looking earlier, it was a Minotaur that has his horns literally torn out and he's bleeding all over the table, and they're screaming at him to just calm down because it's a raging Minotaur that has no horns. So it kind of reminds me, what was the Netflix show? Do you remember that one? It was like in Los Angeles, and it showed all the fantasy characters. You guys remember the one I'm talking about?
Bright?
Yes, Bright. That is what this reminds me of. What did you think of Bright?
I thought Bright was really interesting. I think they approved that for a second movie, so
yeah,
I'm excited for that.
It was kind of sick because it just showed, cutting his grass, and there's like literally pixies. Now, I don't know if the Dicejunkies enjoyed it, but I liked the show. I thought it was cool. I'm assuming y'all chatted about it on there?
Yeah.
So
I was just thinking about Will Smith, and that's.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if Will Smith will be back in Bright.
That would be interesting. It'd be really funny. But yeah, that was very much in I think the same vein as like this. It's like the real world with fantasy stuff, just right there alongside us.
Yeah.
But it's a hospital story. It's like Grey's Anatomy or Code Black or like House or whatever doctor show you like.
Nice.
But with fantasy creatures.
Yeah, it's fun. Almost last thing before I move off of this book, it looks like it's like modern day fantasy though.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like this is like a tavern with swords and shields, but somehow there's a Minotaur that they need to fix.
Yeah, like in Bright. How there's just orcs and elves hanging out with us.
Probably why I'm figuring, I'm feeling the two is a related source. So yeah, that one looks cool. I'm going to definitely read it. I'm excited for that. The independent companies have been doing a lot of really good work, I think, with just new ideas that's not Spider-Man or Batman, which, we've had for 80 plus years.
Right.
This is something new to go through. Now, again, I know we've talked. I'm not a big Fortnite guy, but I am a big Marvel guy. What's your opinion on Fortnite? Do you play?
I do not play Fortnite.
Okay.
I'm not a big Battle Royale guy.
Cool.
I liked Fortnite initially, like the story mode.
Yeah.
That was cool, where you build your base and you fight zombies and monsters and stuff.
Because they don't do a story mode still?
You have to buy it, but the Battle Royale's free. So a lot of people play the free one just because
if you enjoyed the story, then I guess that would be kind of fun, because that's all that is. So do you like that Marvel copied a little bit of DC with like, hey, let's give exclusive content to people who want to read our books in this game?
To be honest, I bet you it was Epic Games aside, branching out to just both companies. But
threw it out to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so successful with DC, why not do it with Marvel?
Yeah, again, you've got a Batman hang glider. I'm sure you can have, and Spider-Man was already in Fortnite, so...
Yeah, so they were already had that the handout there.
Yeah, cool. I think it's neat. Again, if you play Fortnite and you read comics, this is, I feel like a must.
To be honest,
why would
if
you
they
not?
do like a Cable skin where you can get like Cable's ridiculous giant super gun with like 14 barrels, that actually would be really cool. Because some of the other IPs, they have like the guns from those IPs and stuff too.
Right, but is it pay to win is the question. Does that gun actually do something, or is it just a skin?
Yeah.
Because I believe this is just skin related content. I don't know. Do you play Fortnite?
No. Epic Games is the bane of all evils.
Oh, there you go.
You're selling your soul for Marvel characters.
Yeah,
all right.
Exclusive stuff, man. You got to be with them for an entire year before you can play certain games.
Yeah, in the in the other one, if you had all the codes,
right.
you unlocked a new character in addition to unlocking all the gear.
That is
so I'm wondering if they're going to do that with this.
Hopefully, but it's slated to have a few more issues. We already have it on order. We have some subscribers to it. So again, if that one sounds cool to you, pick it up. We got it here. I don't have a ton of copies, like what, maybe 10 or so left?
I think so, yeah.
But if you want it, yeah, by all means. Okay, moving on. Jane Foster Thor, Mighty Thor. Little trivia for you, I guess. Do you know what her first appearance actually is?
Jane Foster Thor?
Yeah.
In the What If comic, technically, kind of?
Well, that's Thoris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out it's not the same character. It's actually, I think it's Jason Aaron's run.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Marvel Now one.
Mighty Thor #1.
Yeah, so it's a fairly new book. But again, I think a lot of readers, they've never been introduced to her. Again, I'm a big Thor person. Do you like that they're trying to bring her back into the main comic? Because she's currently Valkyrie, correct?
In the main comic, it's kind of weird, because in her comic, comic,
Right.
her main book, is there seems to be her as Valkyrie and her as a Thor. So it might be like a multiversal thing since they're playing with that so much right now.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly how
Because
they're
in the
making all that
MCU
work.
movies, Valkyrie is her own person.
Right. Well, there's many Valkyries.
Right.
There's a Valkyrie that's
the
like
main
the
one.
character.
And I believe in the current book, that Valkyrie is actually in Heimdall's spot, isn't she?
No, that's Lady Sif.
Is it Sif? Okay, sorry. Tons of Thor characters. I don't know them all. But yeah, again, if you ever want to come down to the store or go to your local store, I'm sure those guys and us, we would love to chat with you about your favorite books. I'm excited. The new movie's coming out. I'm going to absolutely go see it. Are you going to check the movie out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Favorite thing in the trailer has got to be when she explodes the hammer, sends the pieces at everybody, and then retracts them like a shotgun.
I like it when, what is it, Zeus blows all of Thor's clothes off.
Nice. Okay. He's into the Zeus blowing Thor clothing.
It's hilarious.
It is really funny.
All the women on like the stand are
They all
like
faint.
immediately like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah,
God of Thunder.
It's Chris Hemsworth, man. I'm not saying no.
And Zeus being like, oh yeah, you're the God of Thunder,
Yeah.
sure. I literally have a lightning bolt.
He is the god of, well, Greek mythology, thunder. So, yeah. Anyway, enough on that. If you want to read some Thor, I think it's a cool one. Definitely check it out. Moving on, I didn't know how to say his name. Kristan, old Kristoff, whatever you want to call him. Giant Wookiee bounty hunter.
That's what I say. Big Wookiee.
Big Wookiee. Another big Wookiee. It looks fun. Again, he was in Book of Boba Fett. That show, a little boring, not going to lie. The last few episodes, I think, really picked up. But I was always intrigued by this guy. I don't know a lot about him. He was in, his first appearance was in a Darth Vader the comic, though, right? I believe.
Yes, actually, I think we saw him in the comics before the show, and then decided to tie him in.
Right, so it's kind of a big deal because bringing any new character in from the books into the shows is really good for the value of those comics and gets readers hyped as well. So, is this one you think you're going to check out?
I was looking at it. The art looks really cool. I might have to take a peek at it.
Yeah. Again, I'm a Star Wars guy. If I don't personally read this one, I'll at least try to get a synopsis at the end of what is he doing in this universe. So, yeah, looks cool. All right, lastly, to end the video off, let's talk about the Pride Month book. Has DC or Marvel ever done a specific book that is titled that? Do you know?
I think they just started doing it in the last year or two.
Cool.
It's not a long time that I know of that
Right.
they've just been having a solid Pride title.
Yeah, look, it's sold pretty well. We have subscribers to it. Again, it's something I think people are interested in. So it's cool that you can take mainstream characters you might not know about, like Tim Drake. He is one of the Robins. You know what I mean? And he is a bisexual man that is a Robin, and it's cool that if you relate to Robin, I guess, or this character, you can relate even further to him, and you now have a book. Because one of the things I noticed when we were opening this store was I'd have people come in. How many times do you still get this where it's like, oh, I'm not into comics. I don't read comics. But I really feel like there's a book out there for everybody.
Oh yeah, it's not about if you like reading at all.
Yeah.
It's not about not liking reading. It's about finding the thing that works for you. I didn't like reading at all for a long time until someone showed me the right book.
Sure.
So as soon as you find that right story, that right writer,
Kind of hooks you.
hooks you in. There's an appeal, and it's art. So it's very much each person's own thing.
Yeah, I think it's great. And again, some of the covers are super cool. We have some really funny swimsuit edition stuff coming out as well. That looks really awesome. So anyway, I think it's a really fun one. If you're interested, come and chat with us. We can make you a subscription and get you set up on any of these titles here. So any other comments? What's your pick of the week? It might not even be out here, but in the back. What are you most excited to maybe check out this week?
It's definitely the new Batman Beyond.
New Batman Beyond? Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm a big Batman Beyond fan, so it's a new telling.
Oh yeah, it's a whole new Neo year. It's a new kind of status quo for that character.
For sure.
And one thing that's really cool about Batman Beyond is he only has kind of the one line of events, so it's not a million different. Did this happen here? Did this happen here? Did this not happen? It's not very confusing.
Yeah.
Terry's story has just always been pretty
his
much
own.
his story.
Yeah.
So it's easy to just pick that up.
And Gotham, should we spoil that?
I don't know. will say this.
Yeah.
In this news story, Neo Year, the Neo Year is literally Terry going forward as Batman alone. Bruce Wayne has actually passed away.
We can say that. I think that's fine.
Yeah. I won't tell you how. That's pretty crazy and
But
fun.
he is actually dead. There's no coming back from this one.
He is full on gone.
He's fully dead.
And the Neo Year is Terry as Batman alone without Bruce in the chair.
Yeah,
and
no assistance on that end.
It's real crazy. And the first arc is, of course, figuring out the fallout of losing Bruce.
Who killed Bruce? Yeah, we know. We're not going to spoil it. There you go. Cool. Yeah, like I said, some pretty fun stuff this week. So thanks for watching, guys. Check us out next week, and we'll be chatting all things comics. Appreciate it.